Alright, this is why I believe that parkour should be taught in schools, and why I believe that more people should know about parkour as well, because I don't think enough people really do. So basically, parkour has completely changed the way that I view the world, and I know I struggled to title this. In the title, when I say parkour, I mean both free running and parkour, so I'll kind of use the two terms interchangeably. They're very similar. Basically, doing parkour has changed the entire way that I view the world. I truly believe I see it kind of differently than the average person does, and I'm going to kind of try to explain this because I think anyone that does parkour will also relate to this feeling. Most people aren't going to be on the street and like stop to look at things around them or like admire things around them, because the average person just kind of takes it as it is. It's just like, oh, this is just a part of the world. You know, it doesn't think much of it. They see a rail, they see a wall or something. They just see it as a wall. They don't think twice about it. But it's almost like doing parkour and free running like rewires your brain so that you're going to see these things in public spaces. And instead of just seeing a wall as, you know, a wall, you see it as almost a way to express your creativity. Like as soon as I see pretty much any object that could be good for parkour, my mind is going a mile a minute trying to figure out different lines that I can do, like almost subconsciously. I'm not even doing it on purpose. It just does that. I understand most of the people who found themselves on my channel already do parkour, obviously. So I'm going to use the example of drawing, like art as well. So if you are very skilled at art, you're going to look at different pictures, like say some ancient painting, very differently than the average person would. Like me, someone who has very minimal experience with drawing, I look at like, do I have any artwork behind me? I look at this, actually that's not a drawing, so that's a bad example, but I look at like this artwork right here, and I just see, oh, it's an eagle. But, you know, if you are deep into the aspects of, like, anatomy and color theory and, you know, sketching, drawing, whatever, you're going to look at the picture in a completely different way than my eyes could ever see it. It's a completely different paradigm when it comes to that entire art. If you study music, then you're going to hear music in a completely different way to pretty much anyone else who hasn't. You know, studying music has made me hate pop music because it kind of trains your ear to recognize the same chord progressions over and over again. And now that I listen to pop music, it kind of feel like it all sounds the same. And I never understood why people said that all pop music sounded the same until I started studying music. Now I know exactly what they're talking about. That's just another example of how learning an art can completely change your entire view of said art, I guess. And I'll use one last example. If you study cinema, like if you study how to storyboard a movie or write books or, you know, stuff of that nature, write plays, you're going to view, you know, Shakespeare's plays or like just any movie in a different light than anyone else. Like me, I've never studied story or cinema or whatever, so I view movies just as they are. But to someone who studied film and, you know, worked their ass off to get good at it, they're gonna look at that movie in a completely different way. They might hate that movie or love it for reasons that I don't even understand. In the same way as previously mentioned with all those other arts, parkour and freerunning, the art of movement, makes you view any obstacle you can move on in a completely different light. You view it as a way to express your creativity. And creativity really is the key word here, right? Music is the art of sound. Drawing is the art of sight. Movie is the art of storytelling. And that would make parkour the art of movement. So how does this all tie into the main point? Well, I believe parkour should be taught in schools because just like all of these other arts, it creates an entire, you know, worldview change in the mind of anyone who studies it. School requires you to take classes in the arts of music, the art of sound, and drawing, the art of sight, all this stuff, but it doesn't force you to take classes in the art of movement. You have gym class, but I don't know if I would call that an art. Learning about all of these different arts really broadens the perspective of those who learn it. So that's my argument here. I believe that the art of movement is just as important, if not more important, than all of these other arts that are taught in school. Am I biased? I mean, yeah, absolutely. I've been doing parkour forever. But not only does the art of movement provide the opportunity to express your creativity in a way that no kid ever would have thought of, more than likely, it's also a great form of exercise, and it's a very healthy thing to do. So the number one kind of rebuttal to this that I assume the average person would go with is that it's dangerous. And I hear what you're saying, I really do, but the truth is, parkour does not have to be dangerous in any way. Flowy lines where you just have nothing but a rail maybe or a wall. You know, there's danger in doing anything in life, but parkour is really only as dangerous as you make it out to be. If you want to hear my full argument about that, then you can go check out this video right here where I talk about why I don't believe parkour is dangerous.